Hi, I'm Julius from I Am Your God, and I'm the next guest of the podcast.
This episode of The Tales Behind the Talent is sponsored by Avain Language Services. If you need proofreading of English texts, translations between Swedish, English and Finnish, or private teaching in Swedish and English, please do not hesitate to contact avainservices@gmail.com. Hello, dear listener. Welcome to the first actual interview episode of The Tales Behind the Talent. And my first guest is here, and I'm gonna let the man introduce himself. Julius, how's it going?
Hello, thanks for having me here. It's going pretty well. I think I should introduce myself as you said. So
Yeah.
I'm Julius Vetämäjärvi, born in Oulu, raised in Tyrnävä, and current location is Rovaniemi, Finland. Have been for past 7 years, and I'm the vocalist of the band called I Am Your God. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I can go home now.
Yeah, that's good. Let's get down to business, as they say, and we'll start with your early years. So, how did you get introduced to music in your childhood?
I remember since as long as I can remember anything, I remember that I have been feeling powerful emotions because of music. I think in my I've been 6 or 7 years old. I ran into the Rasmus and Linkin Park and that kind of stuff. I didn't play any instrument back then. I just listened to Bompak MCs, that kind of
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And my father is a rock guy, so he introduced me to AC/DC and stuff like that. Then my parents moved to Tyrnävä, big city near Oulu, Finland, and then I actually met my one of the dearest friends still nowadays, Ukri Suvilehto, who introduced me heavy metal music and that kind of stuff, and that really felt better than anything else before. So I was kind of restless soul as kid. Oh, maybe restless body.
Yeah.
would be better. I was smashing and drumming every tables and my legs all the time, and I think my parents and grandparents and every fucking other parents got so annoyed with my drumming, so my father decided that okay, we got to get a drum kit to my son, and then I was 9 years old. It was somewhere between 3rd and 4th grade in elementary school when I got my first drum kit, and it kind of lightened the spark. It was really, really amazing to have own instrument and start some little bands, projects, playing covers and stuff like that. And I was really playing alone in my rehearsal room, like 5 hours a day. I played so much that my mother was really concerned about what the fuck is happening.
Your mental health.
Yeah, it's drumming and drumming
is
and
this
drumming.
kid okay, or?
Yeah.
So it was like rock, and it was quite heavy from early on. It wasn't like children's songs and all that kind of.
No, I think, like I mentioned, the Rasmus and stuff, but also my mother always listened to Juha Tapio and that kind of Finnish pop gospel music. I don't know what the genre, but those songs always also gave me some kind of emotions, and like every kind of melodies, no matter if they're rough or heavy or beautiful and popish, they always gave me emotions.
Yeah.
But I just at those days I didn't know how to deal with them, how to.
So there was kind of a physical output for you after you started playing drums,
Yeah.
so that you could channel the energy from the music and the feelings from the music to drumming and
Yes, that's how it went, and like it was not always the like I mentioned, I was drumming the tables and my legs and everything, but always when I was walking as a kid, I kind of had some pattern in my head with the rhythm stuff, and that kind of it was really strange, but I really liked it in some way.
yeah,
And
definitely.
The drum, as you said, the drums was kind of the output to those feelings, and
So was it around the time that you got your first drum kit that you started to think that music would be something you would like to do in the future, as a hobby or as a job?
yeah, at the hobby level at least, for sure. It kind of, and I was kind of getting pretty good when you think that I was 9 or 10 years old. I was really fast learner, and of course my friend Ukri like was teaching me
Yeah,
to
that's
play
a good
drums.
teacher.
Yes, he was even back then. So yeah, then I think if we go a few years further, I got to taste some band action, and that kind of it didn't kill the spark, but it didn't feel so good to play drums alone after that. I kind of loved the band action and band hobby, and then when the band stuff kind of stopped, I didn't feel so good to play drums alone anymore, and I started to.
There's a certain dynamic after getting the other people in a band with you in the music. Like drumming is of course cool and you can get a lot out of it, but the dynamics of a band is always a different thing.
Hell yeah, and I 100% I understand people who still plays their instrument 10 hours per day. That's nothing away from them, but it just wasn't kind of the thing.
Yeah,
It wasn't the best thing for me, apparently. So, but then I kind of started to learn out that I have ability to sing some way. Even I was like, I think I was 7th grade or 8th grade when I was
around 13,
14 years old.
Yeah.
I was cycling around the woods. We lived in the Tyrnävä still in those days. So I was jogging or cycling around there and singing alone, but I couldn't ever think that I could sing, that some other people could hear me sing, because it was just getting into it and learning myself and learning styles and stuff. So it wasn't even really a hobby then, it was just killing time and singing.
Yeah, I think that's always the start. Like someone starts to sing in the shower, or someone starts to sing while biking or something. It's kind of a way to pass time.
Yeah.
In a way, but at the same time, it's the first thing to do when you're starting to learn something. And this is a question. The next question that I have, that I'm gonna ask everyone who's gonna be the guest in this podcast, because it's really interesting. So for you, you decided to start playing music, and it was no one else, because I would imagine that for some people it would be the parents that would like push the kids towards like playing guitar or singing in a choir or such. So for you it was like you wanted to play drums.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of the both, because my father and uncle both are long-term drummers, so to speak. They have been playing drums from 80s until these days. So I kind of saw that this is the path I want to take. I want to also grow up with music, and always everybody else in our family listens a lot of music, and my older brother, he's 2 years older than me, he started to listen like rock music and heavy music more active before me, and of course I wanted to be like him.
Yeah, of course.
That's-
It's always the older sibling
Yeah, a cliche, but
syndrome.
yeah. Yes. But yeah, I was the one who wanted to start playing the drums, and I was crying that I want a drum kit, I want to be a drummer. And yeah, one day at the summer, my dad called that you're gonna get a drum kit tomorrow, and I was like, hells to the yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, were you always excited about music? Or was there a break in the enthusiasm, like in the teenage years? But you just said that you were starting to sing around 13, 14, so I think that's the trouble age for the teenage years.
Yeah, actually, those years in like around 13 to 15, I didn't play that much because there was no band action, and I never played, like I said earlier, I never played like 5 hours a day in those times. So it was a bit of lack of enthusiasm. But then in high school, actually we had this singing tests or something like that, which everybody has in the first year of high school. And at that time I knew that I can sing, but I didn't tell it to anybody.
Yeah.
But I, of course, had to do the singing test, and my music teacher Elina got really enthusiastic about my singing, and not that year, but the second year of the high school, she forced me to sing on those music lessons, and I kind of grew up into it.
Okay.
And I gained a lot of courage with the singing stuff, and it really was. It was never about metal singing. I always sang like some Finnish pop music with the high school band, something like Jesse Kaikuranta,
Yeah.
or something like that. Hello Helsinki type of stuff. So
course,
so
yeah.
there wasn't a lot of metal.
Yeah. And if there's like international listeners here who think that okay, it's Finland, they definitely gonna sing metal from the 7th year on in school. It's not the case. it's I think it's dependent on the music educator, the music teacher, but I don't think that many of them are like encouraging people to listen to metal. They are encouraging people to listen to the genre that they want to, but I don't think that they are including metal from the early days on.
Yeah.
So it's always like general pop, and I think one of the reasons is always that they are familiar songs, so it's easier to sing.
Yeah.
Start singing. It's the actual. It's not as hard for people to start singing when they know the lyrics.
Yeah.
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 So, from you mentioned that you didn't have band activity, and then you kind of had a lack of enthusiasm. So here we are gonna get a segue to your band activity, and segue is an interesting word because in Finnish it's aasinsilta, which means a donkey's bridge, which doesn't make any sense, but we're going to have a donkey's bridge to band activity. So
actually there was one more.
Okay, of course.
I don't know what's the word virstanpylväs in English, like maybe checkpoint would go pretty well in this.
Checkpoint, cornerstone.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I should know, but I don't.
I was 15 or 16 years old when my brother he went to the almighty Kempeleen Lukio, and he ran into a couple of guys who liked rock and roll, and they decided to form a band, Deep Purple cover band, and they asked me to join as a drummer. So that was really nice couple of years that kind of bring back the enthusiasm for me drumming wise. We threw like maybe 10 gigs around near all areas, small venues, buses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we had regular rehearsals and we really enjoyed. But everybody else was a couple of years older than me. So when I finished my first high school year, they all kind of moved away, chasing their dreams or studies or military services or shit like that. They just moved away, and the band died.
Yeah.
And after that, I think I only played with the high school band. We had a really nice group that we played. It kind of changed who played which instrument. Sometimes I played drums and sometimes I sang and played acoustic guitar. Yeah, in high school I first time grabbed the acoustic guitar and started to like type those campfire chords and sing along with them. So that helped me a lot with the singing stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And that combined with my teacher forcing me to sing in front of few hundred people at the high school, that kind of made the flame for me singing wise. And then actually when I went to military service and had a couple of years studying, then I think that was the biggest gap, that I didn't really play any instrument or even sing. Of course I sang in like drunken karaoke stuff, and like when I was driving alone.
Yeah.
I already had moved to Rovaniemi, so I like to drive that Oulu-Rovaniemi roads a lot, so I sang along.
Yeah.
And
so
like,
did you move to Rovaniemi because of work or studies or
work and then studies later?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there was like I think 4 years that I didn't play any instrument.
Okay.
My drum kit was gaining some like
dust.
Yeah,
Gathering dust.
for sure, dust and like feeling value in my parents. But yeah, then I think it was 2017 when I got this feeling that I really want to form a band, that I don't want to waste my energy and waste this spark for music that I felt inside me. And then I kind of thought about forming a band for a couple of months. I lived with my ex-roommate Ville. We used to play a lot of, like, we both like to play campfire chords and sing along, so we had this kind of party trick that we played 2 guitars, 2 men singing some Finnish beautiful pop songs in parties and having fun. It was really, really nice. It kind of encouraged me more to the singing path, and it was really, really beginning of 2018. It was one silly night playing video games at one of my friends, and I just got the kick to my ass from somewhere that, okay, now I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
And I grabbed my phone, sent messages to our guitar gods Jonas and Matti that I want to form a band that I want to be singing in. Would you join?
Yeah.
They were like, what are you gonna play? Jonas said, fuck yeah, I'm in. Matti said, hey man, wait for a couple of days, I'm working trip in somewhere in Finland, so
I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah. So I told her, let's play some Manserock. Let's rock music, old rock music from Tampere, Juise and Popeda and Eppu Normali and stuff like that. And of
really
course,
classic stuff.
Yeah, really classic Finnish stuff. And also I mentioned, I think, Red Hot Chili Peppers and something like that. The cover shit. I think most of the bands start that way. So we also did. And then we waited a few days for Matti, but at meantime, Jonas and I already went to sign our names to a rehearsal place, rent paper, and then when Matti came back, I told him that we got rehearsal place, you have to come. He was like, Yeah, I can try. And rest is history.
Was it easy to find a place in Rovaniemi to rehearse?
We were so lucky because there really isn't too much rehearsal place or like anything or even activity on that side. So I think we kind of just had the right time. There was one room available.
Okay.
So we got it.
It was meant to be.
Yes, and we still have the same
room.
Same lovely room.
Yeah, so this was 4 years ago, around.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, in 2018 or?
Yeah, 2018, I think February when we got the rehearsal place and started playing. And at least, I mean, at the beginning, our guitarist Jonas played drums because I wanted to sing, and Matti played guitar. And Jonas knew that he wanna play guitar, but we didn't have a drummer yet. So we had trio rehearsals, and that was horrible. Nothing away from Jonas, but he doesn't belong behind the drum kit.
Yeah, okay.
He's a showman. He has to be in the front of the stage.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty hard to play without a good drummer.
Yeah.
It's important to have the tempos and everything.
Yeah,
and
of course. And it was clear that Jonas is going to play guitar because he has been playing guitar since he was a kid. But he just said that, well, if we don't have any guitarists, I can
So
try.
did you have any gigs as the Manserok group?
Thank God, no.
Okay. So it was kind of your own thing in the rehearsal.
Yeah, and we didn't play a single fucking note from Julius Leskinen. We like when the three of us were at the rehearsal place, we right away knew that okay, we're gonna try to hit some Stone Sour and something like that, like bit more heavy. But I didn't know how to. I just sing clean vocals.
Yeah.
And Matti had started to make some noise with his throat. So when we first started to play some Bullet for My Valentine covers, he always screamed when we had those screaming parts and stuff like that.
When did it start for you?
Actually, we had the I take a little back. When we was a trio, we had like 2 or 3 rehearsals, and then our bassist Jonas joined the band, and like 1 or 2 rehearsals after that, Atte, the drummer, joined the band. And after that, we played those like even more heavy stuff, and we got like 7 or 8 songs really fast, cover songs ready. But I didn't really know that I am even able to have those screams. I checked out a couple of YouTube videos about how to scream, or those might be good for somebody, but I didn't get it. I
I don't know. For me, I've been practicing like for 2 years now, and I think that I really need a licensed teacher for that. It's starting to affect the voice if you do it wrong for too long.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I think we had been the 5 of us for over a year when I kind of found my voice.
Okay.
It was April 2019. So I'm kind of I woke up really late to this kind of stuff because I just really didn't know that I'm able to do it.
Okay.
So it came.
I think that's the case for more than just you. You just one day you can find it. I've been hearing stories about it, like someone's trying and then they find the real technique for that, and then it starts to develop.
Yeah. I have to say that I really was working my ass off to get that voice, get those techniques in shape, but it was really difficult and really devastating that I just can't do it. And we wrote a few songs for I Am Your God, and our name was I Am Your God before I had this screaming. So it's kind of fun. I'm really happy that we didn't release anything back then. We have been on these days having like drunken nights and listening old demos, and we have been like, oh fuck.
So around what time was that? 2018.
2018, like from that summer to the spring of 2019, we wrote few songs. The pack was starting to be ready, but it just missed my vocals.
Okay.
We had those. Matti was writing those badass riffs even then, and for example, the song called Betrayal, we had a demo from it with clean vocals, and it sounded pretty shitty.
Is it somewhere safe, or is it already
I
deleted?
hope fucking not.
Archived.
It's never gonna be in public.
Okay.
I can promise you.
So, was it around 2019 spring, or when you started to include growls or screams?
Yeah. We actually, Betrayal was the song that made me find my voice. I was driving once again from Oulu to Tyrnävä, big city, to my parents' house, and I was banging the demo of Betrayal with those shit ass vocals, and I was trying to scream.
Yeah.
And I heard some good vibes during that, and when the song ended, I just started to scream in fucking nighttime, in really really dark road, driving my car, and started to yell without any music. I started to scream, and it just happened like this.
Yeah.
The hard work paid off suddenly, and immediately I sent Matti a message that I know how to scream now.
Okay.
We're gonna have a recording sessions next week, so I can show you. And I just got to my parents' house, and he said, well, can you send me a voice message and show how you're gonna do it? I was like, no, my dog is sleeping already.
Yeah.
So I can do that. And like 2 days after that, I went to Rovaniemi, and we started to record new vocals for Betrayal, and like Matti looked like I would punch him to a face. He was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I told you that I can scream now. He was like, well, I didn't know that you can scream that way now.
Yeah, okay.
and yeah, then it kind of gave us so much energy. We started to write many new songs. I think In Those Times came up really fast after that those happenings, and it kind of started to roll. Our band kind of we got some really big flame around us and inside us. We
quite
started
quick.
to work.
But before we go into how quick that was, was Betrayal for your first single?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was our first single.
And it was published in
October 2019, and we didn't know anything about when should we release it. Like we had really no idea. We didn't have any social media. We did that so unprofessional style, but I think that kind of gave us some surprise feeling and momentum, because it was like Saturday morning, 9 a.m. when we released the song, and 10 a.m. we set up our social media that, hello, we got new band, let's check it out. And nobody in the band is not really active social media wise, so it was kind of surprising to people that okay, though those people are updating their social media accounts, and what the fuck, they have a band, what the fuck is this, what the fuck. So we got tons of messages, well, not tons, like tens of messages that dudes, what the fuck is this? And like right away we knew that okay, this is gonna be a good fucking thing. Because we were so proud of the song, and we were so enthusiastic about getting the first release. For example, I haven't released anything ever before that, and right away we got a nice kick with the song.
You definitely have had quick. I just had a spontaneous nonin, which is the most common and most versatile saying in the Finnish language.
Yeah.
But for those that don't know, that's less than 2 years ago, but it was in 2020 when you got signed with Out of Line Music in Germany.
Yes.
And before that, you have published 2 or 3 singles.
We just had released our 4th single, Flowers on Your Grave, like at the beginning of March 2020. And like week after that date, COVID-19 shitstorm came up and closed everything and like stopped our journey for a while. We spent like 2 weeks at the rehearsal place playing and banging our heads and thinking about what are we gonna do now when we get nice hype around the band competitions and stuff. And then Out of Line Music contacted us and we started to. I think it was like ending of March, so it took only for real couple of weeks in the misery, and then we got the first step to the record deal. And yeah.
So did you have the record ready at the time?
Almost. We had I think we had 8 songs back then, and first riffs of 9th song, and when we signed the deal, it was, I think we signed it in June. The label said that they want one more song, and we already had one more. It was the ballad song, Fall With Me. We had like the chorus for it, but we just didn't do anything about it yet because we didn't know that if we need one more song, and if we decided that if we need one more song to the album, we might do that because the chorus sounded so
it's a
promising.
kind of a gimmick, but at the same time there are people that really are craving for a ballad in a heavy album.
Yeah.
And I think it's those people that, for me, I always shuffle when I listen to bands or playlists, and it's usually just like it might be a heavier song from another band, and then a folky song from another band, and then I know people who only listen to albums, and it's increasing now that vinyls are coming back, that people are listening to albums from front to back to front. So it's a good to have like a ballad for variation there.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing for the record label also, that they wanted another song.
Yeah, that
but
might.
You got to decide what it was after all.
Yeah, they didn't like
request for a ballad.
Yeah, and they didn't say anything about practically anything about our music.
Yeah.
They didn't like tell anything that to change anything or like develop a song more or anything. They were really happy. And yeah, well, we were also really happy with the record, so it's pretty nice that they were on the same page with us, so to speak.
So when you got the deal, some of your singles got remastered, right? Or remixed?
Remixed and everything. We kind of, because we had released those 4 singles, our guitarist Matti mixed and mastered them.
Yeah.
And we had planned, in any case, before we knew anything about this record label thing, we had decided that we want to remix and master the album with those pre-released singles, because we wanted to the album sound as a whole, and we didn't want to have like any lower quality and higher like that kind of problems with the stableness. So yeah, that was already decided, but for sure we didn't have names like Tony Lindgren or Ricardo Borges upon our minds before the record label. They told us that we have chance now to get our songs mixed to the Fascination Street studios. So we were like, let's fucking go.
So, about Resurrection, there was kind of a huge welcome to it, I think, internationally. Did you think that it would be that good of a welcome to the album? Or
well, yes and no, because we noticed since the welcome of the singles was so good, we thought that, well, if people like the singles, why would they hate the album? But of course we didn't expect that we will get this much streams and this good welcome from the professional people also and medias. So
yeah, I think there's like people are comparing you guys to Children Bottom.
Yeah.
And like a love child of Children Bottom and In Flames, or what
and Bullet for My Valentine.
Yeah.
Always the same band names.
Yeah. But those are affected your music, but I think you still have your own kind of tone there, or own kind of sound. If I hear I Am Your God, I know it's I'm Your God. It's not like, okay, is this In Flames? Is this Children Bottom? And I think that's a really good thing. And a little bit earlier we talked about remixing and remastering, and I think that it was well done before. It sounded good. And I actually heard a couple of your songs, and then we talked about your gigs in the beginning of 2020, before COVID. And I think that you played like 3 or 4 gigs in Oulu, in my hometown, before COVID. So I really got the chance to like have a crash course on your band before actually interviewing you in my radio program during the spring. And but I really have to say that after the remixing, they sounded like really good. It's the guy, his name is do you remember his name?
Ricardo from Fascination Street.
Yeah. He made an excellent job with those, and it kind of took it to another level. Yeah. And he kind of got sounds that already sounded really good, and he made them sound amazing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was really, I'm never gonna forget the moment when I heard the Flowers on Your Grave raw mix for the first time from Ricardo. That was the first song we sent to him that we can compare it to the one that we had already released. So we were all really fucking hyped up.
Yeah.
We knew that this is gonna be a blaster, and there was, because Matti is that kind of guy that even though we were making new demos, he always want to mix them, even the demos, to sound as good as possible. So we had we could have that kind of problem that our ears can get used to a certain sound and certain mix when you listen to the song over and over again and again. But after Ricardo mixed it, there was no such thing that, oh, my ears used to the older version of this song. It was like, hell fucking yeah.
I think that there's a problem with mixing and mastering your own songs, because you're so used to it. It's the same as editing your own texts. I in comparison, I'm a language teacher and I do language editing, and I proofread other people's texts, and I'm like, okay, there's an issue there, and I'm gonna work around it. But if I'm doing it to my own text, I just can't do it.
Yeah. And
I used to do like really shitty EDM music as a kind of a form of therapy with FL Studio, and I posted them on YouTube without mixing or mastering them. And I tried to, but whatever I did, it just sounded worse than the original. But I think it's really good to have the outside ear to your music, and I think that's something that you're gonna have in the future with your future releases.
Yeah, might be. Now for example, our next single, we have been listening the first demo of it for a few months.
Yeah.
Now we recorded it again with better equipment, and now we're gonna send it to be mixed. I'm not gonna tell you where because I don't know yet.
Okay.
But we're still having the conversations, and the handshakes are still missing. But I think it's gonna be really good, even though we might have get used to the first, because we trust the professional people who we're gonna work with. But,
so new songs are in the making. So that's good news.
Yes.
For the fans.
Yeah, we have been writing songs like we had a little break of songwriting like in December, January. We just took a little air, but before that, like straight after the album was out, we started to think about new material, and we wrote really good songs then, but we want to take a little break so we don't kind of refreshing the systems. But there is still everything's kind of going on with the COVID situation. It's not like it doesn't make sense to rush with the second album now and release it like as soon as possible. We want to do it like step by step. We decided the first single, and we're gonna release it, I think May or June, depends on music video situations and stuff.
Okay.
But we just wanted to decide only one song because we can play some time and treat our fans and ourselves.
Yeah,
of
and
course.
I think the times are so unstable because I think in Finland, like before Christmas, they said that they're gonna have the vaccines done at the end of this month. I think for people with the risk conditions, but because there's been a shortage of vaccines in Europe, it's gonna take until summer or even after that. But I was gonna ask you anyways. We have no idea when you're gonna be able to, but have you been planning on doing like more and bigger shows after COVID?
Well, we have been planning to make any fucking shows after COVID led us to, but we don't have anything. We're currently, of course, we would like to get some booking agency, and that would make things easier after the COVID. Of course, it doesn't help that much in these times because it's really getting gigs. It's never easy. It's not easy, even though there was no COVID.
Yeah.
But COVID doesn't make it any easier with anything. But we are working on getting things to the next level, so to speak.
So have you been? You don't have to say any names, but have you been discussing about agencies, or has it been like you're hoping for people to contact you, or
there has been some conversations.
Okay.
Let's say that.
Good to know. So, of course, is it your dream? The situation is difficult, but people are different. And of course, when you're a musician, some people like to tour, some people like to do more albums and like that. But would you like to tour Europe, UK, world at some point, or is it a dream, or is it more like like you would like to focus on the album making and stuff?
We love to play live, and we definitely want to tour and throw gigs, and we have already played in in northern Finland, but that's it.
Yeah.
So we are really hungry to show our like live energy and ability to create good emotions for the audience at live sessions.
Yeah.
We really are begging to do that as soon as possible, and of course we love making new music and new albums, but we have been laughing with the guys that think about the situation that COVID-19 is gonna control the world for 5 years from now, and we have released like 3 or 4 albums without playing a fucking gig.
Yeah, and then you go and you have an hour or 45 minutes to play, and you have to like decide, okay, we have never played this live.
We have never played this album live, anything.
Yeah, and we have 3 albums, and which songs are we gonna play?
Yeah, but we still are working and kind of keeping our live feeling and live chemistry up all the time. We have every single week we have rehearsals, and we're working on it.
Really
and
good.
We have been taking a couple of new songs to our live set already, so it has been giving really much new and fresh energy that we're playing the new songs, even though we know that okay, we don't know, can we play this live like in 1 year or half a year or anything like that, but still playing those new songs with the group is amazing.
Yeah. Have you been thinking about live streams before? If I let you answer, I'm just gonna say that if listeners are thinking about the fact that why is there not more live streams for smaller or mediocre, not mediocre, like middle-sized bands, it's very expensive to do. You have to hire the people to do it. You have to rent the equipment for that. And actually, one of my silent suggestions after the event industry in Finland has been taken down by the government, or basically saying that you cannot perform, is that why isn't there a government support for live streams? Because that would benefit both bands and the event workers. Like if there was a government support for live streams, and that would be because people are really they listen to the live streams, they are watching the live streams, and music is a form of therapy. At least metal music is for a form of therapy for so many that I think it would be something that could be encouraged. But of course there's the fact that you can't have 6 or more people in the same place at the moment, so that's gonna be something. But have you been as I Am Your God, have you been thinking about live streams if it was financially and practically possible?
Yes, I think we would do live stream if we got professional quality for the camera working and professional outcome for the like audio side.
Yeah.
So those both have to cross each other, that we can like think about it, because we have been throwing a couple of live stream gigs in those kind of Rovaniemen kaupunki, for example, had this kirjastorokki-tapahtuma, but it was like many bands, and it was like the city of Rovaniemi handled the whole event. So I think if we would do live stream, it should be done with like bigger production.
Yeah, so that you wouldn't kind of lose a lot in the situation, and
yes,
and it would have to meet certain requirements.
Yeah, that's the way. But there, if we get possibility to do that, we will rise on the stage.
Yeah. But let's summarize the next steps for you because I think we are heading towards the end of the podcast. So the next steps for you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that you are currently producing new songs, and there's gonna be a single hopefully in the end of spring/summer section, and you're hoping to play shows when it's safe and possible. But what else would you like to say to the listeners at the moment?
This is a hard one. I don't want to say the cliche things here. Let's not get frustrated. It's impossible. Let's not get too frustrated about the situation, and let's hope for the better tomorrow. And to everybody listening, as we talked with Muksu here earlier, I found my own voice for screaming wise in 2019.
Yeah.
So I was 24, 25 years old, something like that. And that's the thing that has, if you want to take it in nice and like artsy way, it's kind of changed my life, because I have been growing and getting so much after I found my own voice, and now I'm able to follow my own dream. So never give up.
Yeah.
I say the cliche, sorry.
Yeah. So basically for you, it's it started in 2019, but you've been, of course, rehearsing all the time. And I think that having the weekly rehearsals with the band is something that is keeping the progress alive for that, even though you are not able to actually do that in live.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, while waiting for listeners for seeing you live, they can listen to your album. They can buy your merch. Do you still have the shirts?
A couple of shirts, at least with the old logo, and I think there's a couple of shirts with the new logo, and we're gonna, of course, at some point make more.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can slide some direct message at Instagram if you want to buy some merch and stuff.
Follow the band on social media and listen to them in the streaming platform of your choice, and share their music with your friends, so that when they are able to actually perform and see the world, they have as big as an audience as possible.
Yeah, and don't forget to check out our 2 beautiful music videos that we have done with Julius Erkkonen. He's a machine.
Yeah, those are on YouTube.
Yes.
So I think we are at the end of the road with this podcast, but I would really like to thank you for being able to come here and discuss your tales behind the talent, and until next time, I would like to say
bye everybody.